A poison tree. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smiles, and with soft deceitful wiles. And it grew both day and night, till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled the pole. In the morning glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. Poem by William Blake. A Poison Tree is a short and deceptively simple poem about repressing anger and the consequences of doing so. The speaker tells of how they fail to communicate their wrath to their foe and how this continues to grow until it develops into poisonous hatred. It explores themes of anger, revenge, and the destructive consequences of harboring negative emotions. Speaker starts by acknowledging their anger towards a friend. This anger is the central theme of the poem and sets the tone for what follows. The speaker decides to communicate their anger to their friend, thereby releasing and resolving their feelings of wrath. By expressing their emotions, the anger subsides. The speaker shifts their focus from a friend to an enemy or adversary. This suggests a greater intensity of anger, as the relationship with the foe is generally more hostile. In contrast to the previous stanza, speaker keeps their anger towards the enemy concealed. By bottling up wrath, it begins to fester and grow. The speaker metaphorically waters anger with fears and insecurities. Anger is nourished by negative emotions and thoughts, allowing it to become stronger and dangerous. Speaker continues to nurture their anger by shedding tears over the situation, indicating the emotional investment and pain caused by this unresolved conflict. In an attempt to conceal anger, speaker puts on a facade of smiles and friendliness when encountering their foe. It also suggests that the speaker's false display of happiness intensifies their anger even further. Speaker employs cunning and deceptive strategies in their interactions with the foe, further suggesting their desire for revenge. These manipulative actions add to the growing resentment. Anger continues to grow relentlessly, consuming speaker's thoughts and emotions, day and night. The relentless growth symbolizes the destructive power of unchecked anger. It has now transformed into something tangible and visible, symbolized by the bright apple. This apple represents the fruition of the speaker's desire for revenge, but it also carries a sinister connotation. The enemy notices the shining apple, which represents the realization of the speaker's anger and resentment. The foe becomes aware of the destructive consequences that have come to fruition. The foe understands that the speaker is responsible for the creation of this destructive force. Anger is no longer hidden or concealed, but has become an undeniable presence that threatens both parties. The enemy infiltrates the speaker's garden, symbolizing an invasion of the speaker's personal space or peace of mind. This intrusion suggests that the consequences of anger not only affect the one harboring it, but also spill over into other aspects of life. The mention of night suggests darkness and secrecy, as well as the passage of time. The pole likely refers to North Star, indicating a time when all is dark and obscured, emphasizing the negative consequences that have unfolded. Speaker experiences satisfaction and joy upon seeing their enemies fade the next morning. The transformation of speaker's emotions from anger to delight highlights the destructive nature of vengeance and the distorted satisfaction it brings. The enemy lies lifeless under the tree that bore the poisoned apple. This image signifies the destructive power of anger and the vengeance it seeks. The poem concludes with a chilling reminder of the consequences of unresolved anger and the danger of allowing it to consume one's relationships and lead to fatal outcomes. The image of the foe outstretched beneath the tree serves as a stark warning about the destructive nature of holding on to anger and seeking revenge. Harboring and nurturing negative emotions and seeking revenge can have dire consequences. The poem emphasizes the importance of open communication, forgiveness, and letting go of grudges to maintain healthy relationships and avoid the destructive cycle of anger and vengeance.